name's Todd. I'm the sous chef over at the BBG, and today for Mardi Gras, I'm going to show you how to make gumbo. Gumbo is easy, roux is hard. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to make it, low and slow. You'll be just fine. In your kit, you should have all the ingredients you need. Proteins, veg, oil, flour, we got it all. You got your flour here, 3 cups. You got 2 cups of oil. Most of the time the ratio for roux is 1 to 1. I like a little more flour. It's a little thicker at the end. This is tasso, made in-house. It's a Cajun smoked ham. Got your celery, green bell pepper, onion, green onion, okra, 3 quarts of stock. And down here, you got your seasonings. Got your Tabasco, garlic powder, blackened seasoning, thyme, onion powder, salt, fresh garlic, and some bay leaf. First thing I like to do when I make the gumbo is to saute off the tasso. It does a couple things. Sauteing it off helps brown it, which will give it a deeper flavor, and it helps render some of the fat that's in there. And we can use that fat when we make our roux, which will just help give it just a little more flavor. So you want to add a little oil to a pan. And you want to get that pan hot. Give it about a minute. You start seeing little whiffs of smoke. You know it's good and hot. Let's go ahead. Add that right to it. Start to see a little bit of crust, and that's what we're looking for. Just want to give it some color, some depth of flavor. It's all about that depth. All right, now to start the roux. Take your oil. Right in the pan. Turn on about medium heat. And we're going to let that go until you start seeing ripples and waves in the oil. You can see already where the oil is getting warm and starting to ripple and move up the side of the pot. When you make a roux, the only time I use a whisk is when you add the flour. That way you make sure there are no lumps. You don't want any lumps or clumps or anything like that. Once I'm done incorporating the flour, I go to a spatula so it can really scrape the sides, and it'll help you if you get hot spots later on to move it quick. Alright, we should be getting warm. I'm seeing the ripples at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to add the flour. Whisk first, then add. It'll pop, it'll smoke a little bit, but just keep whisking. Whoopsies, try to get it all in the pan. So when you first add the flour to the oil, you have a blonde roux. These roux are used for your sawmill gravies, your sausage gravies, your light-colored, white, kind of cream-based gravies. And there are different levels of roux. Go from blonde to tan to brick. What we're going to be looking for is something that looks like dark chocolate. It's going to be a really rich brown color. And once you get it going, turn your heat down, because there's nothing quick about this process. And the last thing you want to do is go too hot and burn it and have to start all over again. I've been there, I've done that, it's no fun. So always go slow until you figure out the hot spots. So when you're first starting, you got a little leeway. You can walk away for a couple minutes, but I wouldn't recommend walking away for more than 2 or 3 at a time without giving it a little stir. But when it gets darker, especially towards the end, you're really gonna have to stand there and stir. But all the effort is worthwhile in the final product. This is our tasso ham. Tasso is a spiced, smoked Cajun ham. It comes from the pork shoulder. What we do is we cure it. I normally cure it overnight with salt, sugar, and curing salt, pink salt. Then the next day, we rinse it off, we pat it dry, and we season it with black pepper, cayenne pepper, little thyme, onion powder, garlic powder, all that stuff. We smoke it for 2 hours, which will give us this nice pink smoke ring and pink meat from the cure. So we've been making the roux for about 40-45 minutes, and we're getting to that nice Mississippi mud, brick, or chocolate. We got a little ways to go. I want to show you the bottom of the pan. If you pull the spatula across quick, you can see it. Nothing's sticking, and that's what you want. If you ever find a spot that sticks, stir it real quick and actually turn the pot so the hot spots move to a different area. So we probably got about 15-20 more minutes. You'll start noticing the different smells. It'll start out real flour, then it'll turn nutty. Then it'll almost smell like burnt popcorn. And when you get that smell, you know you're close. So you don't want to walk away for very long. And in about 15-20 minutes, we should be able to add our veg. As you're making your roux, grab your pan that you cook the tasso in. We'll get it hot, and we're going to sear off the chicken. We're not going to cook it all the way, so it'll finish cooking in the gumbo. But we want to get a nice sear on there to incorporate flavor. So once your pan's hot, lay it down away from you. You want a hot pan so it doesn't stick. If you put it in a cold pan and then get it hot, it'll stick. So you just want a nice sear. You want the nice dark colors. So we've been working on this roux for an hour and change. And this is how dark I like to get it. See that nothing stuck to the bottom. It's a dark, rich brown. When you reach this point, we're ready to add the veg. Start with the onion. Oh yeah, it's frying. Some bell. Some celery. And some green onion. Not all of it. Save some for garnish. And we're going to stir, stir, stir. So we're going to stir this for a couple, 4 or 5 minutes, just to get that veg warmed up and starting to cook. You could go longer if you like your vegetables tender. I prefer to have a little crunch left in mine, but that's just me. So we added all the veg and the okra, which we'll add at the end. So our veg is cooked for 4 or 5 minutes. I add the garlic. Stir it in. And I add add the stock 1 quart at a time. And then after a couple more minutes, we can add the last. Give it a swirl. And at this point, we can add the protein that we cooked off earlier. So we have our tasso. And you can use andouille or whatever kind of sausage you prefer. Stir that in. Our chicken, which will finish cooking in there and break down a little bit. Give it a stir. So we're going to add our bay leaf, onion powder, garlic powder, some thyme, Tabasco. That's 1 ounce. You can add more if you like. 2 tablespoons of blackened seasoning. You can use regular cayenne if you like. And salt. I like to add half and then to taste as I go, and if it needs more, just add it at the end. So we're going to let this go for a half hour or so, stirring occasionally. You can bump the heat up to medium. And then we'll come back and we'll add our shrimp. We don't have to cook those off. They'll cook in the actual gumbo. It'll take about 10 minutes. And after that, we'll add the okra for another couple of minutes, taste for seasoning, and then we'll be done. All right, so it's been about half an hour, and we're at a simmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste it real quick. Then we're going to add the shrimp, the okra, and any seasonings I feel like it needs. I'm going to add the rest of that salt. And that should do it. I got our shrimp here. Just going to add it right to it. Stir it in. And we're going to add the okra. Okra will help tighten it up. It's already helped tighten it up just for the couple seconds it's been in there. We'll give this a couple minutes and we're about ready to eat. All right, it's time to eat. So let's plate this bad boy up. Got your rice. Don't be shy with it. It's Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday. Get a bay leaf, just toss it out. Garnish with some green onion. But there you go. I guarantee. How y'all are? Ooh, looks like we got some gumbo right here. I'm gonna pour me a little red wine, because I like red wine. Ooh, this look good, I guarantee. And if you follow the instructions, you'll have something just like it at home to celebrate the Mardi Gras. Just gonna have a bite, you come to me right now. Mmm. 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 Let me get one more with the shrimp. Mmm. Mmm. That is damn good, I guarantee. Here's to you and a happy Mardi Gras.